Hello, people. This is Baba Rakha, and today we're reacting to the second song of the very first album by Led Zeppelin, Babe, I'm Gonna Leave Ya, which sounds like my jam. now, Baba Rakha is chronologically reacting to all songs of Led Zeppelin to discover Led Zeppelin as it was meant to be. And now I know you look at Baba Rakha and think, man, he's the absolute epitome of self-confidence. He's the pillar of strength. But eventually Baba Rakha is flesh and blood. A little encouragement goes a long way. So subscribe to the channel and like it and all of those things. And I understand Baba Rakha's name itself can be quite daunting. What if Baba Rakha declares his own nation called Rakistan? Now the idea of Rakistan does seem very pleasing to Baba Rakha. I would be accepted as the brother state of New Jersey. I would be allotted a a non-existent state would be allotted a place in a fictional council of United Nations when Taiwan is not. And all these things seem very progressive. But and the whole idea of empathy and tolerance and all those things are good, but they should not ever precede self-preservation. Self-preservation precedes everything. The sooner you realize that, the better for everyone. What if Baba Rakha declares his own nation called Rakistan, only to be welcomed by the American, Canadian and British governments with open arms and be celebrated and be provided with privileges that many of their own citizens aren't, just so they can disintegrate, they can continue their proactive efforts of disintegrating a certain third world country of imbeciles for decades. It's very tempting, but Baba Rakha is not going to do that. No country can survive without natural resources, or running a country is very complicated. Baba Rakha does not want to do that. If Baba Rakha starts a country, Rakistan, the only thing Baba Rakha will do is to teach all these young independent feminist women. Baba Rakha will take them as interns to teach them what it's like to be a woman, to what it feels like to be a woman, and know that men and women are not equal, will not be equal, and should not be equal. They have their own different skills to offer. Um, this whole feminist delusion of equality and everything is just spoiling children everywhere. So, anyways, since I've provided with another reason to subscribe to Baba Raka, let's listen to one of the greatest bands that we were fortunate enough to have. We are fortunate enough to have, and we will forever be fortunate enough to have. Once I'm back, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. And after having alienated whatever little, whatever female audience I had, I understand, as stated by at least one thinker before, that I agree with, that there's no way I'm going to get any female audience to this channel unless I react to Desperate Housewives of Led Zeppelin. Is his name Andrew Adolf Schultz? Something like that. Alright. Now that we've gotten all that over with, let's listen to some great musicianship. The absolute pinnacle of musicianship, and I'm waiting to see what the second song of their first album contains. Let's go.
Baby, I'm gonna leave you. I said, baby, you know I'm gonna leave you. Leave you in the summertime, leave you when the summer comes a-rolling, leave you when the summer comes along. Baby, I wanna leave you. I ain't joking, woman, I've got to ramble. Oh yeah, baby, I've really got to ramble. I can hear it calling me the way it used to do. I can hear it calling me back home.
from this place. I gotta get you, yeah. Oh, baby, 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 don't you hear it calling? Woman, woman, I know, feels good to have you back again, and I know that one day, baby, it's gonna really grow. Yes, it is. We're gonna go walking through the park every day. On my bed, every day. Really good. You made me happy every single day. But now I've got to go away. That's when it's calling me. I said that's when it's calling me back home.
By God, man. I mean, I already knew what Jimmy Page and there is a chance I might have heard this before back when I was in school, when I was discovering Led Zeppelin. And I knew what Jimmy Page could do with just an acoustic guitar when I reacted to the Rain song by just Page and Plant. It was pointed out to me that it was not Led Zeppelin. Yes, I understand the essence of Led Zeppelin. Page and Plant performed that. And I knew what Page could do with just an acoustic guitar, and this was just so. And I can imagine, I mean, I've never had the good fortune of discovering a band, an album. I have had the good fortune of discovering bands, luckily. I'm not that young. I grew up in an age where people still bought cassettes, people still bought music, and it's just that I wasn't born in a family privileged enough to allocate funds for frivolous expenditures like that. So when I finally got the internet and when I realized torrents, I was like, God bless torrents. I'm grateful for torrents because I can discover all this. But I can only imagine back in the day, after the first song that was quite heavy, and then after that this. And this is just the very first album. They did not hold back. They were like, on this one, John Paul Jones and John Bonham, they held themselves back. This was all patent plant. And it was only after, when I was editing the last video, when I reacted to the Led Zeppelin instead of the cover, after having mistakenly reacted to the cover, the tribute band. And while editing, I realized that we don't experience that process of discovery anymore. The entire music business has changed. At their times, people, the record labels and the artists made money by selling records. The record labels took chances with legendary artists. Nowadays they don't. Nowadays they pander. I even replied to one of the comments before in one of the previous videos that there are still some people around the world that are creating music, playing instruments, writing their songs and stuff, but they'll never see the light of day. No. Because and the numbers of these artists are dwindling because they are not getting any monetary encouragement to continue to do so. People want to see twerking. So that's what kids will do. And it's a decline. I think I don't know if this mechanism that has been installed can be stopped, because now suddenly, after decades, over the last 2-3 decades of absolute mediocrity being celebrated, if suddenly there are great musicians with relevant songs about relevant things, suddenly being provided with a spotlight, I don't know if the audience will respond to that. They want lights. They want, uh, twerking, they want shooting, they want gangsters, they want they want what is the word? They feed on it's been a culture of feeding on rivalry and obsessing with the other artists and so on and so forth. This was a time when people wrote songs about what they felt, what they were going through, what they enjoyed, what they liked. And now they're all just obsessed with each other. These kind of things, they don't just go away like this. They require generations of cleansing, and I won't see it within my lifetime. But yeah, this was amazing, and I can only imagine. I'm trying to, and I am partially. I could not possibly completely, but I am partially able to imagine the excitement that people felt when they heard this for the first time. The process of discovery has been eroded. Even I gave up discovering new bands when I started working after I dropped out of college. I mean, can you imagine? When I was at home, we had television, we had cable. There was a small teaser of a television series that just absolutely captivated me, and to the extent that I proactively searched for it maybe 2 or 3 years later, when I was in college, and found out that the television series that I was looking for was House MD, one of the greatest television series that was ever written. The cinematography, the music, the actors, the writing, everything. I mean, everything, just absolutely perfect. Why did I watch that? It was because of Lisa Edelstein. Lisa Edelstein was the reason why I started watching that television series. And everyone else, not just helped me continue watching that series, but also admire, be absolutely captivated by, be absolutely blown away by all of those things. I mean, just the process of discovery has changed now. These days, artists don't make money selling records anymore. They only make money by doing live shows. My favorite band, my favorite guitar player, Nuno Bettencourt, not my favorite band necessarily, They're great. I'm very grateful for them. They're the reason, Nuno, Gary, Paul, Pat, they're the reason why I discovered rock and roll. And everyone else, like Led Zeppelin. Thanks to Nuno Bettencourt, shout out to his influences, like Jimmy Page. They released their last album, I think, last year, and now it's just streaming, and they are at a stage of their life where they don't care about, $1 billion or all those things. They were, are, and will always remain true artists, and they feed on the energy of the audience of a live show. Something that has evaporated from me since I chose to not leave these walls unless I very, very necessarily have to. So, yeah. This was absolutely beautiful. And did I download like some high quality something, because there was panning and everything as well, like the rhythm was playing in this ear and the lead, both ears, it was panned at this ear and the lead, but it was in this ear and all that. Jimmy Page with an acoustic guitar. Alright then, if anyone's still watching, thank you so much for watching, and please take care, and until next time, das vidaniya, au revoir, take care, bye.